You have to sort it, put your paper and your glass and your tins, and just there's a lot of people take this stuff really seriously. And I think especially in British Columbia where I live, there's just a lot more people who are more concerned about these issues. So how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Belma, and in today's video we're talking about things you should know about Canada. Basically things I didn't know until I moved to Canada. So if you're interested in this, please keep watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for doing that, and let's get started. Things I learned in Canada, number one is just the fact that Canadians are quite polite. We say sorry, we say thank you when we leave the bus. People are just really polite, and you know what? That stereotype that Canadians like to say sorry a lot, it's true. We just tend to say sorry all the time. So people are quite polite here, and it's something I didn't know.
You're gonna have to get over that ridge unless you go to the side. You got that ridge. Close. You're welcome.
Related to the fact that Canadians are polite is the fact that Canadians really don't mind waiting in line. I think just with everything that's been going on the past few months, you know what? Canadians will wait in line as long as they have to. People are really good about it for the most part. Obviously there's like terrible people out there who make a big deal about it, but Canadians wait in line. I think coming from Nigeria again, waiting in line is not really part of our culture in many settings. Like sure, you wait in line at the bank or at an office, but you know what, personally I've never seen a person in Nigeria waiting in line to take the bus. If that has changed since I've left Nigeria, Nigerians, let me know in the comments. But when I lived in Nigeria, we were not waiting in line to take the bus or anything like that. But in Canada, if you're waiting for the bus, you wait in line, no big deal. Another thing about Canada I didn't know until I moved here is that Anglophone Canada, i.e. English-speaking Canada, is actually quite similar to the US. It's not shocking because we're next door to the US, but it's something I didn't know until I moved to Canada in 2011. If you don't know, I'm from Nigeria, and I also lived in Botswana, and I lived in the US for about 2 years before moving to Canada. And when I moved to Canada, I was so shocked that it was so similar. It's so similar that Canada actually accepts US dollar. So if you go to the grocery store and you only have American dollars, they'll take it at the grocery store. If you go on the bus and you only have American dollars, they accept it. And the reason I know is because I did this all the time. I did this when I first moved here, and I still had a bunch of American dollars, and just, you know, a few days ago I had to take the bus and I didn't have enough change on me, and I just noticed that I had a bunch of American dollars from the last time I was in the States, God knows how long ago, because of everything going on. But you know what, I give the bus driver American dollars and he was good. So things I learned about Canada is that, you know what, we are so similar to the States. We're very different in many ways as well, but there's quite a lot of similarities too. Second thing I didn't know about Canada is just how diverse it is. It is pretty diverse here. I mean, Victoria is nowhere as diverse as Vancouver, definitely nowhere as diverse as Toronto. But even in the small city here, you know, I can get Mexican food, I can get Vietnamese food, Indian food, Japanese food, lots of Korean food, Thai food, Ethiopian food, I can get Nigerian food. That was just some of the ones I'm thinking of. There's a lot more. So in a city that's as small as Jamaican food, the list goes on. The fact that there's all these foods available just shows how diverse Canada is as a whole. So something I didn't know about Canada is the fact that, you know what, we are truly a diverse nation, and it's one of the reasons I really love living here. Things I learned about Canada is the fact that their environment is just so important here. Before I moved to Canada, I have to say I never recycled and I never composted. It's something I didn't do when I was in the US because I lived in the dorms and I didn't really have to do that. But since I moved to Canada, you know what, people take recycling really seriously. You have to sort it, put your paper and your glass and your tins, and just there's a lot of recycling and composting as well. So all your organics and your fresh foods, you don't put it in the garbage, you put it somewhere else. People take this stuff really seriously, and I think especially in British Columbia where I live, there's just a lot more people who are more concerned about these issues. So I've learned that, you know, environmentalism is really important and we got to protect our planet. Something else I learned about Canada is just the fact that we are quite casual. I mean, just in terms of maybe appearance and clothing. I'm from Nigeria, and Nigerians Canadians love to dress up. Like going to work, people really get dressed, going to the mosque, going to church, going to your friend's house for a birthday. People really get decked out, and in Canada, it's just not the same. People are just more casual. There are jobs where you have to, wear a suit. Like if you're a lawyer, you still wear a suit in Canada, but there are many lawyers who also dress quite informal in Canada as well. There's no rule that you have to wear a suit unless you're going to court or something like that, But even bankers, I would say maybe banking is another profession where you have to dress more formal, but I would say even banking outfits in Nigeria is a lot more formal than banking outfits in Canada. I think the smart casual look is the go-to look for a lot of working professionals in Canada. We don't wear, two-piece suits to like go out. So Canada is quite casual, and that's something I didn't know until I moved here. Another thing that I sort of knew about, but I had to sort of see in person, is the fact that Canadians are really punctual. I am not the most punctual person. It's something I've been working on for very long. And you know what? Being Nigerian as well, Nigerians are just the least punctual people. They always say in Nigeria that if you have a party that starts at like 7, just expect people to like roll in at 9. I think a lot of like racialized people, our cultures are similar. We just are not the most punctual. But you know what, in Canada, people show up on time. If you say your party starting at 7, people may come like 5 minutes before. It's like people are punctual here. And so it is a cultural difference that I'm still getting used to, but it's pretty great. Something else I learned about living here is that Canadians don't really talk about their finances. People are pretty tight-lipped about talking about money in general, so it's kind of rude to ask a person how much they get paid at work. It's considered, very private information. People don't often even ask a person how much, their rent costs or how much their mortgage costs. It's just like a question that maybe you'll ask your really close friends. You wouldn't ask a person you're not that close to about their money situation. So yeah, talking about money is quite impolite. While I feel like in Nigeria growing up, people would just talk, people just weren't open about that sort of thing. And I think a lot of cultures, people are not, as tight-lipped about finances. It's good and it's bad. It really depends. But yeah, I've learned to, just do what people do and not really ask people details about their finances as much as I maybe used to about 10 years ago.
I just can't help myself.
Another thing I learned about Canada is I don't really know what Canadian food is. I've talked about how Canada is just so diverse in terms of the food we have. When people think of Canadian food, they think of maybe poutine, which is from Quebec. There's other things, like maple syrup is something else that people think is not really a food, but it's something people associate with us. If you like smoked meats in Montreal and Quebec, people really love the quality of the smoked meats there. When I went to Montreal a few years ago, people were like, you gotta go to this like cafe that's like famous for like sandwiches and stuff. It's like this, anyways, it was cool. I'm not really a smoked meat person, so I can't really say if like it's really good quality or not. Bagels from Montreal people like, but there's really no like hearty food that I think about when I think of Canadian food. So that was shocking to learn that there's not like one thing that you're like, if you come to Canada, try poutine and maybe try an Nanaimo bar, but those are not really foods per se. So I would say Canadian food I learned is just like everything. It's like a multiculturalism meal. So yeah. The last thing I learned about Canada is the fact that we have amazing First Nations people. It's something I didn't know until I moved here. Before Canada was colonized, we had lots of amazing First Nations people with wonderful histories and languages and cultures that lived here and took care of the land and this country before it was known as Canada for many generations before. So I didn't know about that until I moved to Canada, and the past 10 years almost of living here, I've got to learn so much more about the history of Canada beyond what I read before I moved here. So yeah, that's something I didn't know. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was informative. If you've got questions, don't forget to comment below. Also, don't forget to join my Facebook group, Boma Nation. It's a place to chat and share ideas and ask me questions. I'll be happy to help you there. Good luck with your immigration journey, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.